We are live at the Kettle Moraine Ice Center. Today, I'm being joined by Associate Head Coach and General Manager Jeremy Ebert. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, DJ. I appreciate you having me on here.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you. Obviously, last week we had Coach Woods, Head Coach Jason Woods with us. We had a little bit of audio issues, so hopefully we've got that resolved this week. We've got some new equipment. We've been playing around with it here. We're going to give it a shot, and hopefully it works out. We've done a few test runs, and all of them have been mildly successful. So hopefully we're in good shape today. If anybody's watching live, feel free to comment, and you can let us know if we're not audio, if the audio is bad or the video is bad.
Yeah.
Audible?
That's about right, but hey, we're pretty good at winging it anyway, so.
Yep, we're definitely doing that. So, Jeremy, this is the first time we've had you on. We haven't really gotten a chance to get to know you yet. We've sat down with Coach Woods, and we've talked to him in the past, last season. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your hockey career and how you got interested in hockey and how you got to where you are today?
Yeah, well, I started when I was about 3 years old. You know, my dad was from the cities. You know, he played hockey growing up, and kind of that fell onto myself and my two other brothers, one older, one younger. So we just kind of kept playing. You know, I played with my brother, both brothers on separate teams. You know, one year I was playing with my older brother. The following year I'm playing with my younger brother. And in high school at one point, all three of us were on the same high school team. You don't see that too many times with a lot of brothers playing together.
Yeah.
So I played back home, Baraboo, Wisconsin, youth hockey, all the way up to through our high school program. After my high school season went over, I was drafted into, at the time, the Great Lakes Hockey League. I went up and played with the Central Wisconsin Saints. Spent a year up there, kind of, you know, enjoyed it, you know, junior hockey, so I got to experience everything, how it all works. And I think, you know, that's really kind of brought me back around to the game of hockey as well, and really kind of just gave me the go around it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that with us. We're getting some comments here. It sounds like the audio is good. Thank you to Tressa is chap-teagued for chiming in. Sounds like the video might be a little bit grainy, but we'll see if we can work on that during the show here. If not, you can hear us, and neither one of us are anything too special to look at, right?
Absolutely not, no.
although there was a pretty big announcement in your life over the off season, pretty close to the start of the season.
Yeah, so it all started, you know, my fiance at the time when we were talking about getting married, trying to figure out dates. I said, hey, there's a time that we need to do it, and it can't be during the Badger football season. And then also, you know, hockey season starts right around that time too. And I said, it's gonna be tough to do it then. You know, I would have sucked it up and done it that way, but she was a very good trooper about that. So we got married on August 17th. You know, we had the big party, beautiful on Lake Michigan. No complaints about that. After the wedding, we jumped over to Charleston, South Carolina for our honeymoon. You know, we had to cut it. You know, we went down for about 5 days. And as soon as we kind of got done with that, we landed Saturday evening or so, drove back. And then I was back here at the rink for the start of training camp the following day.
So wedding, honeymoon, right into training camp.
Right into the season.
You had to report.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Obviously, you guys have been together quite a while, so it was pretty exciting, and very happy for you. So
thank you.
Good stuff. Okay, let's now that we got to know a little bit about Jeremy, how did you get involved with the Power, with the West Bend Power, or I guess the Milwaukee Power at the time? But how did you get involved with the team, and how has your role with the team evolved over the years?
Yeah, so it all started when I kind of came back from Arizona. I landed a job over in the Milwaukee area, ended up getting into the University School of Milwaukee. Got to know a couple of guys there. They brought me into there. Helped out there for about 2 to 3 seasons. Then at the time, one of the coaches, he did come over here, take the assistant job during the time Milwaukee Power. Eventually got elevated to the head coach. That went in. Another coach from USM ended up leaving over there to come back this way. Kind of brought me along. And since then, I've enjoyed my time here.
Outstanding. So your role is split between coaching being associate head coach and then also a general manager. How do your day-to-day activities split, and how do you handle both of those roles kind of at the same time? Because is it common for an associate head coach to be a GM? Is that
It's a few teams out there are like that, some depending on what level you're at, but for the most part, it's the head coach and then the GM are all mixed into one job.
okay? So you're on the ice, obviously, during practices. You're running drills, doing things like that, and then after practice is over, you're on the phone.
Yeah, so it's there's a lot going on with trying to do both jobs. Starting at the beginning of the days, I'm here in the morning doing film with some of the guys, trying to get that scheduled out. Then we're on to the ice, running drills. I'm there more of kind of supporting the players, making sure, hey, like they understand how things are going on the ice or what they need to do in this kind of structure or this situation. As Coach Woods is kind of really conducting the main practices, I'm just kind of the side, making sure our guys understand where to be, what's going on, how to do it correctly, kind of fix those mistakes as we go on. And then when it comes to after practice, we're running a couple film sessions of, pre-scout and all that I'm part of. But then after that, it's, being on the phone, watching games throughout the year, watching from Tier 1 levels to the Napa Fall League to all over the country and all over the world, watching these games, trying to figure out, all right, who's a good fit for us, if they're going to be able to develop here or, just kind of be a guy here. So we just kind of go into all that. But my phone's ringing, especially beginning of the year, later, I guess before the start of the season,
Sure.
Trying to make sure we get all of our guys in here, make sure they understand, talking with their parents, making sure, hey, this is how we run our program, how things work in the junior world, just so they're not blindsided by anything.
How much of your role as a GM, what would you say is the kind of the split between character and then abilities on the ice? Is it a 50-50 split where you're looking for guys for their character, and are they going to be a good fit for the team, for the community, for the organization, or are you purely looking at hockey talent and skills on the ice? And how do you balance those?
It's tough to balance those. Everybody wants to have the best of the best players on your team, but you also need to have the high character players on our squad here to be able to kind of keep the culture here, build, can progressively get better as a team itself, an organization. So we look for high character, make sure, they're very respectable. I reach out, talk to, their coaches as well to try to figure out, hey, like your thoughts on them. They've had them for the past couple of seasons to make sure like they're not going to come in here and just think they're all that and don't want to listen to the coaches, don't want to be good teammates. Right now, the way our culture's built here is the community, being a good teammate, progressively. If we can get all that together, then we can put the product on the ice.
Yep. Yeah, that's one thing we've talked about on a lot of the different shows that we've done and a lot of the different things is how involved the West Bend Power is in the West Bend community. And really, we're out in the community, we're doing events and the kids are volunteering at schools and helping out. And the community's returning that favor by supporting us. I mean, we brought in almost just over 10,000 fans last season in 22
home games.
22 home games plus the playoffs. I mean, we were jamming the stands, and it is a lot more fun to play with a packed house than it is to play in front of 150 people who, are just happy to be here.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and the players love it too. There's times last year on the bench, during national anthem and all that, and they can see and feel the crowd and hear the crowd during all that. And they're over on the bench like, hey, this is electric. They're ready. Just the energy in the building with it's packed house, but it all starts with the players going out in the community and being involved.
Yep. Yeah, when they see him, somebody just recently mentioned he lives in West Bend. He's like, man, them players are everywhere. I saw them at the farmer's market. I saw them at the bank. They're just all over the place. So we're still relatively new in the community. This is our third season in West Bend, second season as since being rebranded as the West Bend Power, but it's catching on. Definitely,
yes. No, 100% it is.
Everybody's catching on, so very exciting. Let's take a look back last week. Unfortunate loss up in Toma to the Wisconsin Woodsmen. Lost 5-3, empty net goal at the end there, but we got off early start. Oliver Schroeder, defenseman, scored just about 3 minutes into the game, unassisted goal. Good play. Do you remember anything about the play? Anything special there?
Yeah, it all started off from a face-off from the left dot in the offensive zone. Nice clean win to the wall. And then I believe it was Sam Harper that was on the wall, chipped the puck back up to the top. Oliver Schrader walked across the blue line very quickly, got a shot. We got some good traffic in front. Goalie just didn't have a chance of seeing it.
That's awesome. So 3 games this season. You scored first in all 3. I don't know if that's a trend that'll continue, but we're gonna keep track of that. Gave up 2 goals with 30 seconds to go. 2 goals within 30 seconds late in the first period. So kind of got that early head start. Fell down early. Went into the locker room down 2-1. Obviously, still early in the game. A lot of time left. Come back out in the second period, and Luka Weinkauf ties it up with an assist from Grant Scheibel. Anything special about that play?
That play, it was great. We kind of had a quick up, from the neutral zone up to our quick up guy around the blue line area, and he fired it across the blue line to an empty space. Luka happened to run right into it. He came across and buried it.
That's awesome. So there we are, tied at 2-2. Again, give up a goal. We go down 3-2 in the third period. Jackson Holm, newcomer, scores his second goal of the season with an assist from Luka. So Luka now 2 points in the game. Jackson, his second goal of the season. He's been kind of a fire starter since getting here, yeah?
Yeah, no, 100%. He brings a great mentality to the game. He's always working hard. He's a little bit of a quiet kid, but he brings that energy out onto the ice. He got physical out there to help make some plays. And Luka was there just to, be able to find him with his good vision. I believe that was a power play goal for us, our first of the year. So it was,
hard to come by in West Bend, aren't they?
that they are. But it was a good jump to kind of give us an idea of like, hey, not every goal is going to be pretty. And it wasn't that pretty of a goal. It was kind of a grinding goal in front of the net. And it just happens. Good things happen when you're 6 on the ice.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go down 4-3 about halfway through the third period. Just couldn't get anything going after that. And credit to Wisconsin Woodsmen. They played some tough defense and gave up an empty netter late, about a minute and a half to go, I think, but just couldn't get that goal. Nick Novacek, our president, is calling me right now. He is either watching live and wants to tell me that something's not right,
wrong.
or we'll talk to you in a minute, Nick. So, again, end of the game, 5-3. Unfortunate loss, but a good game, yeah. Overall grade on the game?
Yeah, no, I think we had a little bit younger lineup in, getting those guys early in the season, some game experience, lets us realize, like, all right, what kind of attributes they get to bring to this game, and see them in a different, style of game with the Woodsmen. They're very aggressive. They're a physical team, so it kind of gives us that idea, like, are these younger guys going to be able to handle these situations down the road? So it's building us, beginning of the season, I know every point matters in this, but we're here to develop kids, and we want to give those opportunities to those kids.
Yep. So 1-2 on the season, 2 tough losses, but we have our home opener this weekend. 2 games. We've got Friday night and Saturday night against the Western Division leading Mason City Toros. What do you know about Mason City? Much?
So Mason City has been around for a while now. They've had historically a good program down the road here with us. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of energy they bring. The West Division is always fun to play against. You get to see these different talent levels compared to the same teams we always get to play. So kind of mixes up the game a little bit for us.
So they changed. So every season you pretty much play within your division. And in previous seasons you played one out-of-division opponent, correct?
That is correct.
Yep. And so now this season they've changed it up a little bit. Do you want to explain how they're doing that a little?
Yeah. So, go just a little. Last year we had Granite City. We played them 4 times, right? So we go to Granite City 2 times. They come to us 2 times. This year we kind of mix it up, allow teams to play other teams more than just the same team over and over. So this year we have Mason City coming to us for 2 games, and then later in the year we actually go over to Alexandria to go play them for 2 games. So it's nice to mix up the teams, get different looks, see different talents, and just kind of keep our game sharp in that way.
And then next season it'll flip-flop, right? We'll go to Mason City and then Alexandria will come here? Yep. So that's a little different. Like you said, you get to see some different opponents. Not that playing the same teams over and over gets old, but it is nice to see some different colored jerseys and experience a different brand of hockey.
Yeah, 100%. It's always, like I said, it keeps our guys on their toes rather than seeing the same guys because, throughout the year, each team's going to change something different. So if it's, if we're playing Wausau or Peoria or St. Louis, we kind of get a tendency of what they're doing. But they're going to eventually change that once we kind of figure things out. But all of a sudden they're going to change something like, hey, maybe Mason City or Alexandria is doing the same kind of things, and we get to, we have that adjustability for it.
Yep. What's the injury report look like? Obviously, we got a little banged up in Toma. We had lost one guy during the game, right?
Yes, we lost our captain, Teaganshire. He took a hit. I don't know if a stick caught him in the face or if it was just the glass or a helmet, but he ended up getting looked at by the trainer, got glued up and with a cut on his lip and a little bit of knee soreness. He tried to come, but he missed the rest of the first period, came back out, tried to give it a go, like all hockey players are. They're going to try. And eventually he just said he couldn't do it anymore. So we ended up, he got undressed and we tried to send him to the ER to see what if he needed stitches or how they can help him before we left for the bus.
Mm-hmm. And then Odin got a little banged up, right?
Yep, Klubak had a little shoulder injury. Hockey nowadays, it's a lot. For some reason, I don't know if it's here, but we do have a lot of shoulder injuries that are but that's the kind of hockey is nowadays. A little more shoulder injuries, is not as much as knees or any of that anymore.
Okay. So coming into the weekend, are we healthy-ish?
As of right now, we are healthy as can be.
Okay.
Even with those guys, they've been at practice. They haven't missed any time. And we get a couple guys back that we sat out before just for, give these other guys, younger guys, some experience. So they're going to be back in our lineup, and we should be ready to rock.
All right, so we've got Friday night, Saturday night right here at the Kettle Moraine Ice Center. Friday night, we've got a pregame tailgate, as we will have for all of our home games this season. Game starts at 7:30, but I believe it's at 5 o'clock. We're starting a pregame tailgate sponsored by the Great Outdoors Supper Club, one of our fantastic sponsors that actually sponsors our VIP pit downstairs, right on the glass. They're going to be setting up a food truck right outside, and we're going to be doing Friday night fish fries here. And I think you said before we got on the air here, you said you'd be first in line, right?
First in line. Every time they do that fish fry, I'm first in line. I'm ready for it. It's delicious.
Two piece or three?
I do the 3-piece.
But you got your wedding body is over.
Wedding body is out. I don't need to worry about what I eat anymore. Well, a little bit, but when it comes to Wisconsin fish fry, I'm always going for the most.
Yeah, and they the Great Outdoor Supper Club, it's fantastic. They did it a couple games last year. I had it once later in the year, and it was tremendous. So can't wait to have that again. And then Saturday night, they're doing it again. Do you know what the menu is Saturday night? I can't remember.
I don't believe off the top of my head.
I do. I just remembered because my wife's pretty excited about it. Fried chicken. They're doing some fried chicken.
All right.
I don't know if it's a bucket of chicken. I think I saw something about a bucket of chicken. But fried chicken on Saturday night. But again, game time, 7:30, both Friday and Saturday night. Saturday night after the game, we've got a special skate with the Power. So bring your hockey skates or your skates, and after the game, if you don't have skates, for your rentals. But after the game, you'll get a chance to go out on the ice and skate around with the Power players after the game for a half hour, an hour, and get to know the guys and get some autographs out on the ice. Maybe play a little tag. I've seen quite a few of the youth hockey players playing tag out there with the Power boys, and it can get to a pretty intense game. So definitely looking forward to that. If you don't have anything going on, come on out to the Kettle Moraine Ice Center and enjoy some great hockey action. Anything else? Did we forget anything?
No, I think we covered everything. But I think Friday and Saturday, home opener is going to be a blast. I think the community is going to be here to support us. We're going to support them as much as possible and make sure we put a good product on the ice. Yeah, we looked at the attendance numbers right before we came on the air for Mason City, and they're averaging about 400, 450 fans a game. So let's pack the barn here and let's show them what we can do here. 1,000 fans. Let's see if we can do it. Absolutely.
Thank you for your time today, Jeremy. I will let you get going, but greatly appreciate it, and we'll talk again in the near future.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, TJ.